My father then passed. Someone's using your father's checks. We're getting them bounced.
You're not going back on community control. I gave you that shot. You literally just threw it back in my face by stealing from several more people. I'm going to send you to prison, but right now, I don't know for how long, to be honest with you. The State of Ohio versus Julie Strickland. Ms. Strickland is before the court with counsel. What are we doing today, Mr. Goodyear?
It's my understanding the defendant's going to enter a guilty plea to count 1, count 3, count 5, and count 7, the indictment. The state's going to dismiss count 2, 4, 6, and 8. And I believe that the defense requesting to go forward on sentencing after the plea as well today.
All right, and no agreement on sentence, correct?
Correct, Judge. Warren County, State of Ohio. The defendant, Julie Strickland, with purpose to defraud or knowing she was facilitating a fraud on another, did utter or possess with purpose to utter a writing, knowing it to have been forged in violation of section 291331A3 of the revised code.
What is your plea?
Guilty.
The court will make a finding that you've made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your constitutional rights that we have discussed. The court will accept your plea of guilty, and based upon the statement of facts in your plea, the court will make a finding of guilty. Anything before I sentence Mr. Goodyear?
First, Your Honor, I wanted to point out, so there are basically 4 victims in the case. The first victim is a gentleman named Milton Carpenter, who has since passed. His daughter is present. So she's here representing him. And then, of course, as I mentioned, Ms. Kennard spoke with each one of the businesses that she could get in contact with regarding their feelings. The victim would like to speak, if that's okay, Judge.
Of course. Is this on which case?
So the receiving stolen property, Your Honor, is the checks, and then the checks were written. Yes,
Gotcha. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. At the time, I lived in Lima, which is a considerable distance for me to come daily to check on my father. And I had Julie and Mike, because they had become friends with my father, help me with this. He was getting low on checks because I would fill out checks for him to sign for bills and such. And I let them know that the checks would be there and if they could please keep them safe for me. They then claimed that the checks never were delivered. So I went to Huntington Bank and I'm like, I don't know if they got stolen, misplaced, whatever. Huntington said that their confirmation that the checks were delivered to the mailbox. So I was like, can we please just void out those checks and I get new ones for my father? Which at that time, Huntington Bank did void those checks. So no matter who used them, they would have bounced anyway, even before the passing of my father. My father then passed, and in the time I was doing everything for his household and just trying to clean everything up and legally, I was getting messages and calls from businesses saying, hey, someone's using your father's checks, we're getting them bounced, you need to fix this. Because I was power of attorney on his account, so I would be the next person. That's when I found out that she was forging my father's signature.
Did she have a relationship with your father?
Besides neighbors, no, they were just neighbors and friends of.
Okay.
And because I lived so far away and I couldn't check on my father daily, they were the ones I trusted to do this, unfortunately. I've even, since I found out about everything that happened in Warren County, Montgomery County has contacted me saying that she did bad checks in their area and was wondering if I knew. So this has broken something in me. Like, I don't trust people very easily anyway, but this, like, I thought we trusted them. They lived across the street from my father for 10, 12 years, and they would help him mow, they would get him groceries, do his laundry, things that I couldn't do on the regular. And now, like, I don't even trust my neighbors. Like, we've got so many cameras up, I watch them constantly. Like, this has broken something in me. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Mr. Goodyear, anything else?
Your Honor, the only thing I wanted to add for the businesses is I spoke with the businesses yesterday about a potential agreed sentence of 18 months in prison. It's unusual, but the businesses actually, their position was they thought 18 months in prison was not enough. They thought she needed more. It's actually, their businesses are local to the community that she lives in. One of the people at the business, unbeknownst to them, they didn't realize that her father had passed. Julie actually tried to rent the property out to this person, and then they found out, fortunately they hadn't given her money, but they found out the hard way that place wasn't even up for rent, and that he had passed. So I think there's just a lot of layers of deception, and the businesses themselves felt like 18 months in prison wasn't sufficient.
Thank you. Anything on behalf of the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. Regarding the charges here, Ms. Strickland has entered a complete admission of guilt, taking accountability for her actions, and as the complaining witness has stated, that the chain of events that stemmed from this have spanned into Montgomery County, which Ms. Strickland has retained us for, that we represent her on, and she is being sentenced in that court later in this month, taking accountability for those same actions. I have two money orders here from Ms. Strickland and her family, both totaling at $2,000 to pay the entire, both totaling at $4,000, I apologize, to pay the entire restitution amount for these active cases, along with her probation violation and the restitution in that case, to coincide with Ms. Strickland's admission of guilt and to take accountability for her actions, that she is ready to either give to the probation department today, or however the court would see fit, in order to pay that restitution amount.
Where did this money come from?
It is my understanding that these are two checks from her father, I believe. Oh, from Mike, her husband. I apologize.
Are these checks or?
These are money orders from, it appears, People's Bank, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodyear?
Judge, I understand that the money orders are of a different nature than a bank check, but considering the history here, before the court takes any action, I would certainly want to verify.
I agree. At this point in time, Ms. Strickland, quite frankly, I don't trust you. I took a gander at your history, your criminal history that dates back over 25 years of stealing from other people. I'm going to send you to prison, but right now, I don't know for how long, to be honest with you. So I'm going to reschedule this hearing. We can come back and do sentencing at a later date, but quite frankly, I don't trust that those money orders are good. With your history, I'm not going to accept any, unless it's cash, which I don't think you would have the ability to duplicate that. I'm going to reset this. See my assignment commissioner and set it for sentencing. I'm not going to do this today. Ma'am, you don't have to come back if you don't want to. I have a fairly good memory. I'm familiar with Ms. Strickland, so yeah. I mean, this could drastically change how long I send you, but you're not going back on community control. I gave you that shot, and you literally just threw it back in my face by stealing from several more people, and apparently up in Montgomery County too. You have a theft problem, and if you've never had something stolen from you, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And again, I get tired of people, stealing once, you make a mistake, I get it, but when you've been stealing for a quarter of a century, it is basically your identity right now. You are a thief and a fraud. I don't even believe your whole medical condition, to be frank. So set it for sentencing. I'm not going to do it today. That's all.
Judge, I'm sorry. I was in the middle of doing things. I may have missed it. Did we also get an admission to the
I'm
probation
sorry.
violation?
That's good. That's good. Thank you. On case number 24, CR 42112, does she wish to have a hearing on that probation violation?
No, Your Honor.
All right. The court's going to find that she has violated the terms of her community control. That and the sentencing, the disposition of that probation violation and the sentencing will be set at a later date. All right. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Under the Ohio Revised Code, including Section 2913.51 governing receiving stolen property and Section 2913.31, subsection A3 governing forgery, the defendant entered guilty pleas to multiple felony offenses involving the possession of stolen property and the use of forged writings with purpose to defraud. Pursuant to Section 2941.25 of the Ohio Revised Code, the remaining counts of the indictment were dismissed as part of a negotiated resolution between the state of Ohio and the defense. In determining the appropriate sentence, the court is required to consider the purposes and principles of felony sentencing under Section 29.11, including the need to protect the public and punish the offender, along with the seriousness and recidivism factors set forth in Section 2929.12. The offenses are subject to sentencing under Section 2929.13 of the Ohio Revised Code, which governs the imposition of community control sanctions and prison terms. Based on the defendant's extensive criminal history and pattern of theft-related conduct, the court indicated that a term of imprisonment would be imposed rather than community control. Additionally, the defendant was found to be in violation of previously imposed community control sanctions under Section 2929.15, authorizing the court to impose a prison term for that violation. The court also considered restitution pursuant to Section 2929.18 subsection A1, but deferred final sentencing to allow for verification of payments and further consideration of the appropriate sanction. The matter was continued for final sentencing, at which time the court will impose a sentence consistent with the statutory framework of the Ohio Revised Code.